help with that. And as for Trump, you know, if you want to come on the show to tell me to be quiet yourself, we still have that arcade claw machine the My Pillow guy got in. I want somebody to stop talking about him. He pays them $130,000, but he wanted me to do it for nothing. I wonder what it was specifically. Maybe it was one of the nicknames I was going through, like Tanny Soprano, Nostradamus.
Jimmy Kimmel's ratings just jumped 27% thanks to one person, Donald Trump. The former president transformed a 10-second joke about his fast food habits into the biggest publicity gift any late-night host could ask for. Instead of focusing on, actual campaign issues, Trump spent nearly an hour at his rally ranting about Kimmel, making up weird stories about the comedian begging for rally tickets, and getting increasingly red-faced with every sentence. Meanwhile, Kimmel sat back, watched his viewership skyrocket, and thanked Trump from the bottom of his heart for the free promotion. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Have you ever seen what happens when a comic tells a mild joke about a guy who eats nothing but Big Macs? Most folks might chuckle and move on with their day, but when that guy is Donald Trump, you get a 5-alarm presidential meltdown that makes toddler tantrums look dignified.
I had like 80 texts when I woke up sending me this article from Rolling Stone. It says, Trump White House pressured Disney to censor Jimmy Kimmel. Now, from the Trump White House to, quote, convey the president's anger regarding Kimmel's monologues and jabs. In other words, President Karen demanded to speak to my manager.
It all started with Jimmy Kimmel's monologue last week. The joke was so tame it barely registered with the studio audience. Just a passing comment about Trump's famous McDonald's diet doing a number on his bathroom routine. The kind of joke that normally gets a polite chuckle before everyone forgets it 5 seconds later. It wasn't even the highlight of Kimmel's show that night. But for Trump, this micro jab was apparently equivalent to a comedy nuclear strike. The former president was supposed to be giving a serious policy speech about inflation the next day. You know, presidential stuff. Instead, attendees watched in disbelief as Trump completely abandoned his prepared remarks to embark on a 45-minute rage fest aimed entirely at Kimmel. And then this unfunny garbage, Jimmy Kimmel, makes a stupid joke about me.
The article says news of these calls spread around the corridors of power in Washington. Wow, what a plot twist. Want somebody to stop talking about him. He pays them $130,000, but he wanted me to do it for nothing. I wonder what it was specifically. Maybe it was one of the nicknames I was going through, like Tanny Soprano, Nostradamus.
Trump fumed to a crowd who came to hear about border security and economic plans. His show is trash, complete trash. It should be canceled immediately. The crowd, probably confused but eager to please, started chanting, cancel Kimmel, on command. Meanwhile, campaign staffers could be seen at the edges of the stage desperately trying to get their candidate back on message. Good luck with that, folks. But Trump was just warming up. He dove headfirst into a series of increasingly bizarre claims about the late-night host. Kimmel begged me for tickets to my Madison Square Garden rally in 2016, Trump insisted, without offering a shred of evidence. Begged. He was practically crying on the phone. Now he pretends he doesn't like me. Sad. The fixation on TV ratings, Trump's eternal obsession, came next.
He's a blowhard and a snowflake. He's a blowflake is what he is. He should change the hats to say, make America whine again. I wonder what it was he found so objectionable. I don't know. Maybe it was the time I had Stormy Daniels look at a plate of carrots and to size them up and she picked a little. You think of all the people I regularly make fun of, it's a lot of people. The only two who've tried to stop me are Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who actually called the cops on me.
My Celebrity Apprentice was a ratings monster, biggest show on television. Kimmel couldn't fill a high school auditorium if he was giving away free money. This from a guy who was supposedly there to talk about solving America's economic problems. The audience, who'd shown up expecting to hear plans for their financial future, found themselves awkwardly booing a late-night comedian many of them probably don't even watch. Some looked confused, while others doubled down, shaking their fists at the mention of Kimmel's name like he was America's most wanted. But the meltdown didn't end with the rally. Trump carried his grudge straight to social media, where he unleashed a barrage of 14 separate posts about Kimmel over the next 3 days. Each one grew increasingly unhinged, with random capitalization, excessive. Exclamation points.
Why Donald and Melania sleep in separate bedrooms. She was laughing too hard at my monologue at night. But really, joking aside, but if I point out that he's so fat they renamed the plane Air Force Wonder Bread, I'm the bad guy all of a sudden? All he does is he makes fun of disabled journalists, he calls our veterans prisoners of war.
And bizarre tangents that made less sense than a game of Monopoly explained by a sugar-rushed 5-year-old. Jimmy Crapmel has the worst ratings in late-night history, read one particularly coherent post. His show is bombing and ABC is panicking. I hear they are begging me to go on his terrible show, but I said, no way. The social media tirade featured everything from accusations that Kimmel was paid by the Democrats to spread lies, to strange claims that the host cried like a baby when I won in 2016.
I wonder if Fox News, they're always screaming about censoring comedians. Will they defend me on this? I doubt it. We have a First Amendment right.
Today I'm directing my administration to explore all regulatory and legislative solutions to protect free speech.
Someone who claims to be the bigliest anti-censorship defender of free speech.
By the third day, Trump was comparing Kimmel's comedy to crimes against humanity and suggesting the FCC should revoke ABC's broadcasting license. Meanwhile, the original McDonald's bathroom joke was being replayed on news channels worldwide, giving it approximately 10,000 times more exposure than it would have gotten if Trump had just ignored it like a normal human being with actual important things to worry about. The whole spectacle highlighted what really matters to Trump, not policy, not governance, not even the concerns of his supporters who came to hear about inflation. Nope. What really gets this former president fired up is his TV image and perceived popularity. A throwaway joke about his bathroom habits after eating too many Quarter Pounders was enough to derail an entire policy platform. The aftermath of this political punchline war has turned into a win-win for Kimmel. His ratings skyrocketed by 27%, all thanks to Trump's inability to take a joke about his bathroom schedule. In a brilliant display of gratitude, Kimmel addressed the situation head-on. I'd like to sincerely thank our former president for giving my show more publicity than ABC's entire marketing department could ever dream of. The comedy community didn't just stand by and watch. Seth Meyers jumped into the fray, pointing out that when Trump attacks comedians, instead of addressing actual issues, he's completely lost the plot. Trevor Noah added his own zinger, comparing the one-sided fight to his cat taking on a vacuum cleaner. And we all know how that ends. This whole bathroom blow-up perfectly shows what really matters to our ex-president. Not the economy, not world peace, just his fragile ego and obsession with who's laughing at him. Talk about presidential priorities.